So hey students, welcome back to Diksha Vedantu 9th and 10th English. This is Basavaraj, I'm your biology master teacher. Now students, in today's video, we'll be doing the entire structure of human heart as well as the functioning how the blood flows inside the heart. So without wasting any time, I want each and every one of you to like the video, share the video and also subscribe to the channel for most amazing content. What content? This is a video where I'll be teaching you the heart in 10 minutes. So if you want more videos like this on the channel, I want all of your support. So with that being said, let's understand the structure of human heart. So before we go to the whole structure, I want all of you to understand the position of heart. That all of us believe the heart is towards the left hand side, but that is partially correct. Why? Because actually the human heart is situated in the thoracic cavity here, right here in the thoracic cavity between the two lungs, but it is slightly tilted towards the left hand side. That is the actual position of the heart. But what about the size of the heart? But if you take your hand, all of you take your hand, close it, and can you see this particular clenched fist? This is the size of the heart. So that is the first is the position. Yes, the position of the heart is where between the thoracic cavity. It is a muscular organ that has cardiac muscles, and then between the two lungs slightly towards the left. It has the size of a clenched fist. It is protected. So entire heart is protected by a sheet called as your pericardium sheet. Yes, with a double walled membrane called as pericardium. Now with that being said, location done, size done, extra covering done. Now let's get into the heart, that is the structure of the heart. Now if you look at the structure of the heart, take a heart, cross section it. If you look inside, you will find in total of 4 different chambers. Yes, can you see? There are 4 different chambers in the case of human heart as well as in the case of birds. But what about amphibians as well as reptiles? In the case of amphibians and reptiles, it is usually a 3-chamber heart. The obvious exception is crocodile. Crocodile also has a 4-chamber heart here. Now apart from that, there are already birds which has 4-chamber heart. But what about fishes? The fishes usually have a 2-chamber heart. Those are the least one. But let's not focus on all of them. Let's try to focus on the human heart here. Now if you look at the structure of the human heart, I'll tell you a few points which all of you need to remember here. The first point here is the number of chambers. One is called as left atrium, the first chamber. Then we have left ventricle. Then we have right atrium. Then we have right atrium and right ventricle. So left atrium, left ventricle, right ventricle. In total of 4 different chambers here. Now let's try to divide it. The entire heart is again divided. In between, do you see a line here? A septa. That is a complete bifurcation which completely divides your left and right part of the heart. Your atrium, left atrium and right atrium are separated by your atrial septum. Then we have your ventricles are separated by ventral septum. So there are different septums to make sure oxygenated blood and deoxygenated blood does not fuse, mix together. Now what is this oxygenated blood and deoxygenated blood? Where do they enter from? Listen to me very carefully. Your oxygenated blood, the blood which has oxygen in it, enters into the left atrium. Very important point. So what about deoxygenated blood? How does it enter inside the heart? The deoxygenated blood enter into the heart through the right atrium. That is the first basic things you need to know. The last basic point about human heart here is the valves. Can you see this structure here? Now inside your house, all of you have a tap, hand wash. You open the tap, water will start flowing. Just like that, inside the heart you have certain valves. As soon as the valves are open, the blood flow will start. Valves close, the blood flow will stop. Just like that, we have your different valves here between the right atrium and right ventricle, left atrium and left ventricle. Their valves are present. That is the valves. Now valves has one more key function which is also a previous year question. That has nothing but the chambers in the heart have valves to ensure the blood does not flow backwards when the atria and ventricle contracts. That is the main function of the valves which all of you need to understand. That is, the valves will make sure that the blood does not flow back into the atrium from the ventricle. Clear? Now Next, understand the structure and function now. Structure is done. Basic structure of the heart is done now. Let's take a NCERT diagram and understand the function of heart now. Now, first chamber again. The first chamber here is your left atrium. Yes, the first chamber is your left atrium. Mark it all of you in your book. Then we have left ventricle. Second one here. Then we have the right ventricle. Third one. And then we have right atrium, the fourth chamber here. 4 different chambers done. Now students, tell me, the blood is usually carried, oxygenated blood is carried in arteries or veins. All of us know oxygenated blood is always carried in the arteries. There is one exception, that is pulmonary vein. Pulmonary vein is a vein which carries oxygenated blood. It carries what? Oxygenated blood. So all the oxygenated blood is entering inside. All the oxygenated blood is entering inside the right atrium through the pulmonary vein. Which blood? Oxygenated blood. Now where is the blood coming from? The oxygen rich blood is actually coming from the lungs. It is coming from the lungs. All the oxygen rich blood is coming into the left atrium through pulmonary vein from the lungs. Now all of you, have you ever squeezed a bottle? Yes, have you squeezed a bottle? All of you, after drinking the juice, have you tried squeezing this thing when the air comes out? Yes, just like that. Just like that, the squeezing, the left atrium will completely squeeze out. But here, before squeezing, all of you want to understand one point here. Every single time a chamber is receiving blood, it will relax completely. So when the left atrium was receiving the blood through the pulmonary vein, it was relaxing completely. Now when it has blood, it will completely squeeze out. That is, the left atrium will completely contract here. The left atrium will completely contract and all the blood is transferred to left ventricle. So the blood now, the blood from the left atrium is sent to the left ventricle. And when left ventricle was receiving the blood, it was also relaxing completely, while the left atrium was completely contracting. Clear? Now, from the left ventricle, the blood is going to the aorta. From aorta, the blood is going to all the different body parts. From the left ventricle, the blood is going to all the different body parts with the help of aorta. From aorta, it is going to all the different body parts. Now the blood is used, obviously, in all the different body parts. When all the blood is used in different body parts, the blood will come back again to the heart. For example, all the blood, that is upper body, from the upper body, from here to upper body, all the used blood is coming through the vena cava from upper body, also called as superior vena cava. So all the used blood is coming back to the heart through the upper vena cava, also called as superior vena cava. Now what about the lower body? From entire lower body, all the blood is traveling to the heart through this vena cava here. That is called as vena cava from the lower body, also known as inferior vena cava. Inferior vena cava. Now students, all the blood is entering from upper vena cava here, lower vena cava here to the right atrium. So all the deoxygenated blood is entering now. All the deoxygenated blood is entering into the right atrium. So again, if the right atrium is receiving the blood, it will completely relax and receive the blood. So all the blood is in the right atrium now. Now the right atrium will completely contract and all the blood will enter into the right ventricle, from right atrium to right ventricle. Now again, remember students, all the arteries in the body carry oxygenated blood, but there is one exception. The one exception here is your pulmonary artery. The pulmonary artery carries your deoxygenated blood. So from the right ventricle, the blood is going to the pulmonary artery. From pulmonary artery, it is going to the lungs for purification. lungs to the purification. Now in the lungs, once the blood gets purified, that is, lungs purifies the blood and fixes with oxygen. Again, see here, the cycle continues. From here, the deoxygenated blood is converted to oxygenated blood in the lungs. Then again it is entering into your left atrium through the pulmonary veins, entering here left ventricle to aorta, different parts of the body. From different parts of the body, upper body and lower body, entering into the right atrium, deoxygenated blood, right atrium to right ventricle to pulmonary arteries, again back to lungs. That is the entire cycle where the heart is pumping the blood. Now all of you know to notice one thing here. The entire human heart structure, the blood is entering into the heart. How many times? 2 different times. Here it is entering, here it is entering. So that is the very reason. That is, the blood circulates through the heart twice. Hence it is called as double circulation. That's what's called as double circulation. The main advantage of double circulation is that every tissue in the body has a steady supply of oxygenated blood and it does not get mixed with the deoxygenated blood. This right here is a previous year question, all of you. So for more such amazing videos, I want each and every one of you to like the video, share the video and subscribe to the channel right now, and also let me know in the comment section which is the next video which you need in the 10 minutes series. So until next time, all of you.